What was the best you have no power here moment you've ever seen? I used to work at a small, family-owned bookstore in a fairly affluent neighborhood. We had this regular customer, Mrs. Winters, who was the definition of entitled. She'd come in weekly, spend maybe $20, but act like she single-handedly kept our lights on. One particular Saturday afternoon, she marched in with a tattered paperback that looked like it had been through a washing machine. The book was practically falling apart, water damaged, and had clearly been read multiple times. She slammed it on the counter where I was working alone and demanded a full refund. "This book is defective," she announced loudly enough for everyone in our quiet store to hear. I examined the destroyed novel and gently explained that not only had she purchased it over 6 months ago, according to our records, but the damage was clearly from mishandling, not a manufacturing defect. Mrs. Winters immediately puffed up like an angry peacock. "Excuse me? Are you accusing me of lying? Do you know who I am in this community? I'm on the board of 3 different charities and my husband plays golf with the mayor every Sunday." I maintained my professional smile while explaining our return policy, which she cut off mid-sentence. "I don't care about your policies. Get me the owner right now." Here's where it gets interesting. The owner, Martha, was actually my grandmother, a sweet 70-year-old woman who looked like she baked cookies for a living but had the backbone of steel. She happened to be in the back office doing inventory. "Let me get her for you," I said calmly, walking to the back. I quickly explained the situation to my grandmother, who simply nodded and followed me out. Mrs. Winters immediately launched into her tirade before my grandmother could even say hello. "Your employee is being incredibly disrespectful. I've been a loyal customer for years, and this is how you treat me? I demand a full refund plus a gift card for my troubles. Furthermore, this young man needs serious customer service training or should be fired immediately." My grandmother listened patiently, hands folded in front of her, nodding occasionally. When Mrs. Winters finally paused for breath, my grandmother spoke in her soft but firm voice. "Mrs. Winters, I've reviewed our sales records. You've purchased exactly 17 books from us over 3 years, totaling less than $200. Meanwhile, you've attempted to return 9 books, all with similar damage. This young man is not just my employee, he's my grandson and will someday own this store. He was enforcing the exact policy I created." Mrs. Winters' mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water as my grandmother continued. "Now, I value all my customers, but I value honesty and respect more. You're welcome to shop elsewhere if our policies don't suit you. In fact, I recommend the big chain bookstore at the mall. They might be more accommodating to your unique interpretation of what constitutes a defective product." The entire store had gone silent. Several regular customers were poorly hiding their smiles behind books. Mrs. Winters' face turned an alarming shade of crimson as she sputtered, "Well, I'll tell everyone I know about this treatment." My grandmother smiled warmly. "Please do. Word of mouth is our best advertising." Then she turned to help another customer as if Mrs. Winters had ceased to exist. Mrs. Winters grabbed her destroyed book and stormed out, nearly colliding with a door. The moment she left, the entire store broke into spontaneous applause. My grandmother simply winked at me and went back to inventory. The best part? Our sales actually increased in the following months as word spread about how my grandmother stood up to the neighborhood's most notorious Karen. Mrs. Winters never returned, but several people came in specifically mentioning they'd heard about the incident and wanted to support a business with integrity. My grandmother taught me that day that having power isn't about being loud or making threats. It's about standing firm in your values with quiet dignity.